Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FJRT Season 3, Episode 11! With me, your lovable and delightful host, Kaz. This one, luckily, will be a normal-length episode. You cannot believe how very happy that makes me. I don't have to spend, like 3 hours recording. It might be like an hour and a half, which is much more reasonable. Anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get on down to the Watchtower and the Round Table and see what we have in store for all of you today. Alright, so let's take a look at our competitors for this episode, or at least most of them. First, here we have the plane Placeholder, sent in by Android Elite, and it just so happens to be on a team with another aircraft. They are the team Apex Predators. You might remember them from the last episode, except they put not as nearly as much effort into their aircraft this time, as you can see. This one is, one of those standard things. Standard, very nice engine right there. Perfectly delightful engine. Remember to fix engine texture. Love it. Take notes, Dragon. Either way. So, yep, it's got a Gatling laser for its main gun, which is pretty interesting. I haven't seen anybody really use that yet this season, to the best of my knowledge, so it would be cool to see how that plays out. It's got AIM-9Ms, 120Bs, and very, very cursed wheels. You know, it's kind of a sad day when actual landing gear will call you to spin across the runway, and this very cursed setup won't. Really a shame. Anyway, over here we have the RA-7K Nukikaze sent in by Raven. Looking quite sleek. You can tell it's a Raven plane because it's got birds all over it. As for what it's got, we have AIM-120Cs, AIM-9Ms, and 2 GAU-22s. Very sleek aircraft, very small, and thrown through the air by a TRTE, as most of Raven's designs have been using lately. Very light aircraft, and should be very, very fast. Should be interesting to see. Over here, we have yet another Tomcat. A very nice-looking Tomcat, honestly. Sent in by Pi. The Tomcat FJRT3 F14M004. There's also a 007 aircraft that comes along with this one. There are, he renamed all the missiles, so, that's gonna be annoying, trying to figure out what everything is, but they're all legal weapons. We do have, HPAAs as the special weapon. Should be pretty cool. BK-27 outfitted on this thing, as it's supposed to be a British Navy. Well, there you go, Royal Navy Tomcat. Something that could have happened, potentially, but never did, because they built a Tornado instead. So, very cool plane. And lastly, we have the XDF M13C Viper, sent in by Boy. Very nice. AIM-120Cs, AIM-9Xs, GSH-32, and 2 QAMs. Very sleek looking aircraft with a very powerful engine in the back here. We've got the XA-101 Advanced Cycle Turbofan engine. Very cool. Very powerful. This aircraft should, well, it's got a lot of lift due to that lovely Delta wing from Kennard's setup that we've seen in a lot of his aircraft so far. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing how all of these teams perform today. So let's get them fighting, and we're going right into best of threes because we got a normal episode, baby. Woohoo! And here we are for the first round of fights. I am so excited. We have the Naval Air Squadron, which is Pi, versus Apex Predators, which is Android Elite, and our good buddy Lethal Dose, once again, buddying their way through the roster. Let's see how they do today. Let's get those aircraft into the sky. And also, you may have noticed the clouds came back. Yay. Hopefully with less exorcism. And there it is! Competition starts! Let's go ahead and hit that auto cam. And we're going to actually, well, least to begin with, we're going to watch the Prion missing assets since, well, we didn't actually get to see it during the fly-off. As you can see, it appears to be missing some textures. Except not really, because that's actually the texture that was put on there. Kind of ironic, I had to put a missing texture into my textures, so that, that design and joke could work, so fantastic there. In another news, this is the brand spanking new, hot off the presses version of BDA, so effectively we are looking at, well, using aspected RCS. That means, well, that effectively craft are more realistically targeted when it comes to their radar cross-section and other such stuff. So, plane flying directly at you will be more stealthy than a plane that's flying with its wings. You know, you're coming at it from a different angle. It's pretty cool. It potentially will change some of the things we have, but we'll see. Still coming to 10 to 15 kilometers here for the Prion missing asset. Missiles are now away. Tomcats coming in. Gotta say, those are very pretty aircraft. I mean, Tomcat, no secret, Kaz likes his Tomcats. Beautiful aircraft. There goes the Prion, zipping by with that beautiful sonic boom sound. Not saying a whole lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and switch to something else. There we go. Sam getting close to the missing asset. Woo! Almost got it. Sam's once again being launched. Looks like it's basically a 2v1 against the missing asset at the moment. Just hear those missiles roaring. Oop, I heard BK-27 fire. These Tomcats using thrust vectoring engines. Ooh! Placeholder eradicating the back end of that Tomcat. Trying to chew through it with the... Oh! Super close! Chewing through it there with that Gatling laser. And gone! It's now a 1v1. HHQ-10 being swirly coming in. Whoa! BK-27 chewing off a wing does not look good for the Placeholder. Not at all. Whoa! Very close range missiles. Holy mackerel. And a lot of smoke going on. It is trying desperately using the thrust vectoring on that engine to line things up. But having some problems there. Tomcat doesn't look like it's having nearly the same amount of problems. Still managing to get a few shots off with that Gatling laser. Doesn't look like it's hitting very much, though. Whoa! Whoa! Did almost a tail stand trying to shoot at the Tomcat. It's still doing it! Look at this! This is nuts! This is only round one! Although it's still on fire. I don't know if that's a graphics thing or if it's actually on fire, but if it is on fire, it is going to burn down eventually. Oh! And an in-your-face ass-ram missile. Nah, don't ever want an ass-ram in your face, that's for sure. And we're going into a round two. 1-0 Tomcats. And competition starts here for round two. We'll hit that auto cam, turn on fighter mode, and I guess we're following the Tomcats this time. Not that I mind. Definitely don't mind. Beautiful airplane. And the wing sweep. Just amazing. So So the new version of BDA also added some fun new stuff, as it were. Basically, you now have the ability to toggle how effective flares are for IR missiles directly, which is kind of nice. That means you could have, in theory, heat-seeking missiles that are completely immune to flares. Not that you would ever do such a thing, because that would be hilariously broken. But it is an option. So, that being said, the advanced heat seekers in the pack will be getting some love later on, probably for next episode. And we've got missiles away. Tryon pulling ahead. Oh, very close. Both the Tomcats are now flying in on the Pryon. I would not want to find myself in that kind of a situation. Let's be real. Using the sound effects? We are. Okay, good. Pryon hauling it. Coming by. We're going to get not quite fast enough for a sonic boom. Tomcat flying inverted. Nice BK-27 hit there from the Pryon. Honestly, it looks like an F-16 XL to some degree. Probably because it's using an F-16 cockpit. Unloads all of its gun there, trying to get a shot on the Tomcat. Boy, I tell you, the missiles are just roaring today. Looks like we might potentially have an issue with some of the engines there. Oh! And it looks like the Placeholder has decided to arrive with that Gatling laser. I'm hearing hits from the Gatling laser on its target. It's managed to, looks like, carve off about half of that airframe. Very cool. One of the first times we've actually seen that weapon in use. Uh-oh, that Tomcat's in a flat spin. BK-27 joust here between these two planes. Using that thrust vectoring to try to get things around. Gatling laser chewing off more of that aircraft. Ooh, Tomcat getting blasted by... getting blasted by the Pryon. This is now a... Well, now it's a victory. Team Apex Predators wins round 2. That means we're going into a round 3. And competition starts for what is going to be the final round between these two fighters. It could be anyone's fight. Both of these aircraft have proven themselves to be fairly capable. Actually, I'm very surprised that the Goofy Squadron is doing so nicely, and honestly, as beautiful as the Tomcat was, we weren't expecting it to kick as much ass as it has been. So, I'm happy. As far as things that might change for next episode, as I said, the advanced missiles, the advanced heat seeker missiles might be getting a little love, so they're less distracted by flares. Means they'll be a more interesting pick for upgrade points and other fun things like that. In addition to that, due to the RCS changes, due to the changing of the real-time aspect of RCS, which I love, I think it's a great implementation, I'll have to probably look at our radar curves so that they're, well, let's say a little more sensitive to things. Yeah. so that way stealth will matter more. Alright, here we go. Meteors are away, flying in toward the missing asset, as is normal at this point. Placeholder is sitting in the back, acting as a long-range weapon platform, firing some of its long-range munitions, while the Prion is in the front, distracting, and apparently flying off into nowhere. Up, here comes a missile. Coming in! Oh, that was close. And a Sam. Boy, just look at that. He's just having fun. What's the Placeholder doing? Placeholder out here trying to come on in with the AIM-120s. Those are B variants, so they're not as fast, not as maneuverable, but they pack a bigger explosive punch. And those Tomcats are pretty. And there we go. Gatling laser coming in. Try and get shots. Getting some gunshots there. PK-27 hitting something. Looks like we might have gotten some damage to an engine. Oh, Tomcat getting hit by Placeholder. Oh, man. Close range missile shots and getting chewed to pieces by that Gatling laser. Absolutely eradicating the rear half of that Tomcat. Does not look good for the Naval Air Squadron. Really doesn't look good for the Naval Air Squadron as it gets absolutely chewed to pieces by that BK-27. Or Gatling laser shots. Placeholder killing that Tomcat, and the only other Tomcat is now spinning wildly out of control toward the ground. Missile strike. And that'll put the nail in the coffin for those Tomcats. Maybe the Brits made a good made a good choice when they decided to choose the Tornado over the Tomcat. Who knows? You know, what do? I just run KSP competition shenanigans. Either way, Team Apex Predators will be moving on to the finals. Congratulations, boys. Alright, so here we go for, well, the first start of the second bout of fights. We have the 94th Wing Fusiliers and the Nukikaze sent in by our good friend Raven, and the XDF M13C Vipers sent in by Boy. This should be another interesting fight. That's for sure. Good luck. And competition starts for the first time between these two. Let's go ahead, hit that auto cam, and bada bing, bada boom, we are down and in. One thing I'm definitely liking more about this matchup is that the part counts are much more reasonable on both of these aircraft. AIM-120s now locking and firing. Missiles flying every which way as they close in. AIM-9Ms and all kinds of other crazy stuff going on. Quam's away. Quam getting a hit on one of the Nukikazes. Those missiles being used in the ideal circumstance for those. Nice and close. Nukikaze hard on the tail of that Viper. Just missile strikes. AIM-9Ms and Quams going every which way. Viper knocking that Nukikaze out of the air. That's basically down. As soon as it hits, boom, done. We've got killed at almost the exact same time. It's now a 1v1. It could still be anybody's fight in theory. Not sure how wounded, if at all, this plane is. This one definitely has the thrust to weight advantage. Ooh! fighting for stability there. It passed by its target. You don't want to overshoot your gun target, that's for sure, unless you're sure you're gonna hit. Viper has a much, much nastier gun, and apparently can aim it quite nicely. Lots of fuel leaks going on, though, on the Viper. That's what those white trails are. At least I believe so. Viper seems to be having some problems, though. Its engine gimbal might have been compromised. That is very bad. Oh, no! Nugikaze using the thrust vectoring of that TRTE to just barely keep itself in the air. Yeah. Your winning fuselage for round 1, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wind up being... as soon as this one stops cartwheeling and starts dying, there it goes! Nugikaze wins round 1. And competition has started for round 2. Let's hit that auto cam once again, and I think we'll watch the Viper fly in this time. Clams did get some hits, they definitely didn't save it. Problem with having that single engine is, well, as we saw before, if your gimbal gets damaged, you're gonna lose control quite nicely. And I love those sounds. It's the sonic booms, the aircraft flying by at high speed. Firing those 120s at high rates of speed. Of course, those that beautiful F-22 cockpit there on the Viper from MPR. Amazing mod team, those guys. Whams are away! Circling around, doing what they do. Nice shot on one of the Vipers here. We've got a Nugikaze on the tail. Both the Nugikazes on the tail of that craft. Wing fire, not good. Oh, very, very nasty. Pulled hard into the guns on that. Oh, pointed the cockpit right into that. And, whew, in a shutout, Nugikaze will be going on to the finals. Holy crap, that little plane just absolutely eradicated that. Woo-wee! Well, let's get them into the air versus their opponents. And here we go, Raven versus Team Apex Predators. These are the finals. Who will win? And just like that, the competition starts for the final bout here. Let's go ahead and hit the auto cam. Watch the Bryon there as it flies by. Let's go ahead and look at the placeholder. Just the cursed little ball of nonsense that it is. Going up against the Nugikazes. Long-range munitions being fired at reasonably close ranges. Aim 9 zipping by. Those engines are very, very hot indeed. absolutely no question here as which one of these aircraft will be faster and more capable of pulling away from its enemy. Whoa, get a little close to the ground there, Prion. Pull up, buddy. Whew. Because of getting some shots off. Spinning around using that powerful thrust vectoring. Spins a little too hard. Oh! Placeholder killed by a Nukikaze. Let's go ahead and watch from this aircraft's point of view, as it is the only other competitor, as is custom. Prion now facing two very fast, very deadly competitors. Firing a missile point blank, just barely managing to miss that. Ooh, and decapitated. Round one of the finals goes to the Nukikaze. And competition starts for what could be the final fight of this episode. Let's go ahead. We'll watch the Nukikaze as it flies in, at least to start off with. And battle starts. Prion once again out in front, facing the wrath of both Nukikazes head on. Getting very low to that terrain. And with a single pass, Nukikaze manages to rip the wings off of the Prion. Doesn't necessarily mean it's doomed, as we've seen. Prion, however, getting hit by a missile. And another missile hitting the Prion. It's going down. Placeholder is the only one that's alive. Alive is kind of a, well, relative term. That being said, in just mere moments. In mere moments, Nukikaze has, in fact, shown its dominance. Your winner for episode 11 of FJRT Season 3 is none other than Raven and the Nukikaze. A very squirrely, very over-muscled aircraft, but it has definitely proven its usefulness here today on the field of battle. Congratulations, Raven. It has been a hard-won victory for you going through all the other episodes. Congratulations. You've definitely earned it. In any case, that's all for me today. I have been Kaz. This has been FJRT Season 3. And, of course, a special thank you to all of my patrons who continue to make this possible by, well, helping me pay my bills and all that other fun adult stuff. By the way, I sure would like a new computer. It's definitely on the cards. But until then, I've been Kaz. And until next time, happy building and happy blasting.